Like the Egyptians, the Etruscans seem to have conceived tombs as homes for the dead. The Etruscan necropolis, in fact, was laid out as a small town with the streets running between the grave mounds. The tomb chambers were partially or entirely excavated below the ground, and some were hewn out of bedrock. They were roofed over, sometimes with corbel vaulting, and covered with dirt and stones. Beginning in the 7th century BCE, wealthy Etruscan families constructed enormous tombs in the form of a mound or tumulus. One of the most elaborate tombs is the Tomb of the Reliefs, which accommodated several generations of a single family. The Etruscans created the elaborate interior of the tomb by gouging the burial chamber out of the bedrock. In this tomb, they covered the sculpted walls and piers with the painted stucco reliefs. That's why this tomb was named as the Tomb of the Reliefs. The stools, mirrors, drinking cups, pitchers, and knives effectively suggest a domestic context, underscoring the connection between Etruscan houses of the dead and those of the living. Other reliefs, for example, the helmet and shields over the couch here are signs of the elite status of this family. The three-headed dog beneath the same couch is Cerberus, guardian of the gate to the underworld, a reference to the passage from this life to the next. Let's look at another tomb decoration. The leopard's tomb takes its name from the beasts that guard the burial chamber from their perch within the pediment of the rear wall, like here. The confronting felines are reminiscent of the lion gate at the Mycenaean citadel. Remember the lion gate? If you don't remember, you can go back and look at it. Okay? In this tomb, the subject is the banqueting couples in conformity with age-old convention. The man with the dark skin and the women with the light skin. Pitcher and cupbearers serve the guests, and musicians entertain them. We can also notice the old convention here. Lower class people are naked and upper class people are clothed. The banquet takes place in the open air or perhaps in a tent set up for the occasion. In characteristic Etruscan fashion, the banqueters, servants, and entertainers all make exaggerated gestures with unnaturally enlarged hands. The man on the couch at the far right on the wall here, he holds up an egg, a reference to rebirth in the afterlife. The tone in this tomb is joyful rather than somber. The banqueters do not contemplate death. They celebrate the good life of the privileged Etruscan elite. The banqueting couples appear not only on the walls, but also as sculptures. This sarcophagus takes the form of a husband and wife reclining on a banqueting couch. Although the man and woman on the couch are life-size, the sarcophagus contained only the ashes of the husband or wife, or perhaps both. Cremation was the most common means of disposing the dead in archaic Italy. The man and woman on this sarcophagus are as animated as the Apollos of Veii, even though they are at rest. They're opposite of the stiff and formal figures in Egyptian funerary sculptures. The artist shaped the legs only summarily, and the transition to the torso at the waist is unnatural. It's suddenly just folded. The sculptor's interest focused on the upper half of the figures, especially on the vibrant faces and gesturing arms. Like the banqueting man painted on the wall of the Tomb of the Leopards, this man may have held an egg, a symbol of regeneration, and the woman may have held a perfume flask and a pomegranate in her hands. Through these images of Etruscan banqueting couples, we can see the Etruscan women's status in their society, at least the elite women. The men and women on the couches are equally treated. They are having conversations with each other and enjoying the food and music together. Etruscan women did attend banquets and recline with their husbands on a common couch, unlike the ancient Greece. In ancient Greece, only men dined at their banquet, called a symposium. The allowed women in symposia were either slaves or prostitutes only. Wives didn't go to the banquet, didn't go to any public events. They were just staying at home and kind of hidden from the public. Etruscan inscriptions on sculptures reflect the higher status of women in Etruria as compared to Greece. They often inscribe the names of both the father and mother of commemorated person. Also, Etruscan women retained their own names and could legally own property independently of their husbands. The frequent use of inscriptions on Etruscan mirrors and other toiletry items buried with women seems to attest to a high degree of female literacy as well.